Am I the only person like tired of the daily grind? I mean, we wake up, we sit in traffic, we try to buy nice things to at least make ourselves feel a little bit better, but we just working to pay for it. This is crazy, bro. Like, I remember when we were young, everybody was kids. You thought, like, when you became an adult, like, you would just do anything and everything you wanted to do. You didn't think that you would just be in a matrix. This is a matrix, bro. Like, this is insane. This is literal insanity. And then we're doing all of this acting like it's normal. And the reason why this is bothering me is because I went to Europe. I went to the Netherlands. And I actually got a chance.
It's always Europe. Every time this kind of conversation starts, it's always, I went to Europe.
As somebody that's never been able to afford to go to Europe, I can tell you that I started thinking this when I was in my early teenage years. I couldn't understand how we had gotten into a position where people were going into office buildings to work in a tiny cubicle, separated away from all of their loved ones, from nature, from the circadian rhythm. It never made sense to me, and I always asked questions along the lines of, how did we get here? Why are we doing this? Does this actually make sense to you? And I don't think anybody really realized the level that I was actually asking the question on. Like, I meant it as a human being born onto a planet randomly, or not randomly, as you choose, born on a perfectly molded planet to support the kind of life that we are, with food and water available in abundance should you know how to look for it or choose to try and eat it. We're here being told that because we were born on this planet through the choice of other people, we're required to pay to be here. We have to pay for some form of roof over our head. We have to pay to be able to get food into our mouth because it's apparently illegal to go out and harvest wild things if you're not notifying people, the appropriate people, or it's illegal to harvest rainwater for your own consumption in some states. Like, just the amount of illegalities that are popping up around people being allowed to just exist on the planet is mind-numbing, and they are narrowing it down even further at this point to make living out of your own vehicle illegal when everything is so expensive people can barely afford it. Just because things have existed the way they have for so long does not give justification for them to continue. So every time I hear an argument of, well, I did it, you can do it too, or, that's just how it is, that's garbage. You're trying to placate yourself and me. Or you're straight up lying to yourself and me, because you either have acknowledged the situation and are trying to look away from it, or you have no idea what the actual true situation is that we are in.
For the record, I don't know about your parents, but I was in aftercare every day after school till 5 p.m. That's how my life went. My parents worked a lot, dude. I mean, my dad worked Christmas. He didn't even... To be fair on that one, I never grew up going, yeah, just do anything you want. Be an astronaut. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. Maybe my life was just like that.
To see people living their life.
And I did used to think, I don't want to end up like this. My dad would always go, you better own your own business. You think working for somebody's the way to go? He goes, please. My mom would go, never get an office job. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. That was my parents' pep talk in the morning.
And it's not this American hustle culture that we've been indoctrinated to believe is correct and right. This is not right. This is not life. This is not okay. This is terrible. When I went to Switzerland, people were living their life. I went to Italy, people were living their life. They're chilling around,
He goes, I went to Switzerland. They were just yodeling on the mountaintops, doing nothing.
And happy with the friends that they grew up with in America. Like, good luck. Like, if you had a friend as a teenager or when you were young, you probably don't even know each other anymore because everybody's been worked to death. You know what I mean? Like, always going to work, always like hustling, trying to make a dollar. And this is insane. This is literal insanity, bro.
Yeah, he's not tripping on that one. It's like you get so exhausted that by the time Saturday comes around, or in my life, I used to work Saturdays and Sundays for about a decade. That was just normal. And then no one ever had off during the weekdays, so forget it. But by the time Saturday comes around, it's like that's their one day. And then usually, now that we're older, it's already booked out. Got to make a damn appointment for a month and a half from now just to hang out with you. Or you're just so over it. You don't want to do anything. That's true. But I think that's been around a long time. I don't know about your guys, but my parents, they didn't have friends just popping in like an episode of Seinfeld. It's like I used to think to myself, I go, Dad, do you even have friends? Turns out he didn't. My mom had a lot of them, but she had to make appointments or do happy hour. It was like a scheduled affair, which they could afford to schedule. He's not bugging out on that one for sure. Yeah, I get it.
You don't even have time. Like, we making money, but we don't even have time to relax and really enjoy ourselves. Like, in America, it's like you do all of this for what, like 2 weeks vacation at that. I'm not talking about my job. I like what I do. I'm just talking about in general, like America. This is freaking crazy. You literally don't have time to do anything. Like, and then, like, when you off of work, all you do is sleep. That's all you do. This is literal insanity, bro. And then we're doing the same thing over and over again and paying bills. And it's like all we are bill payers in America. Nobody has time.
We are consumers to everybody. We are a number on a spreadsheet, and that is all we are. We're analyzed in such a capacity that you can see our mental psychology in the quarterly reports from businesses. What drug sales went up? What alcohol sales went up? What snack sales went up? What sugary beverage sales went up? Those are all indications that we are trying to fill a void in our life with something that will never be able to get close to filling the void in our life. And I know that all of us feel some sort of void or hole, whether it's metaphysically or literally a feeling, I guess, that you get in your chest or your gut. That void is our connection to nature. That void is our connection to each other. It's been so misused and mishandled for generations upon generations at this point that we don't even know who we truly are as a humankind, if you want to speak so generally, so broadly. Because if you really sat down to think about it, I think that you would come to the conclusion that we didn't come down here to work most of our life for somebody else's profit and then be told that our retirement wasn't handled appropriately and now we've got to continue working for somebody else's profit.
You try to reach out to friends, they're all like busy. You know what I mean? Like they're working double shifts. This is crazy, bro. People are now getting roommates. Like, and this is supposed to be normal. And all these like super wealthy elite people. And
how many people like feel this way, or like how many of you feel this way, and then like do nothing about it? I want to know. Because we always talk about back in the day and boomers and, I get it. Back in the 60s, you could become a hippie, live on a commune, basically be homeless, and then bounce back and get a job and be chill. I get that, but they did something about it. I see these people doing van life or car life, or somebody really does have the balls to go and move to Thailand, right? And ride an elephant to work, or not work. They just make American money.
All these people going to live off grid or live out of their van or going to live in another country, they're all trying to escape the same thing in a different way because they don't actually know what the thing is that they're trying to escape. And that is the fact that they are working their soul into purgatory for somebody else's benefit and at their behest. You are compromising yourself every time you sign a contract that says you're giving your money to a giant government entity that uses it to fund mass killings and genocide and poisoning their own citizens, running scientific experiments on us. The list could go on and on about the things that they do to us with our own money. Walmart has the largest tax funder subsidized workforce in the nation, and they are one of the most profitable businesses. Those two things should not coincide in a world that actually cares about people. If you cannot see what we are talking about at this point, then it's because you're refusing to look.
$2,000 is your King Tut out there, right? But how many people actually have the balls to put in the effort to go do that? It's the same thing with this, right? Like hating your job or hating this thing. Like, the unfortunate thing is the only way out of it is to put in a certain level of effort. Like going to live in your car, I'm not recommending this, but people do this. It takes a level of effort and a level of sacrifice to go, I'm going to go live in a van.
You know what also takes a level of effort? Standing up to what is clearly a tyrannical government that has been pushing its citizens into a corner for a very long time until we woke up enough to either realize that we were being pushed in a corner or we decided to stay asleep because we didn't want to know what was going to happen to us. The fact that we keep operating within their boundaries is what keeps us here. The fact that we think that we can get out using their methods is what keeps us here. And I'm a big old hypocrite saying this myself because I don't see a way to break out of this without everybody else's help. And so until we can actually literally physically come together on this issue, I feel I am forced to maintain this way of life that I know is eating my soul. I keep telling myself that if I just get out the right way, they'll leave me alone. But the truth is, they won't. You can look at any of the mass facilities that they've come in and taken down where people were trying to live off grid and provide for themselves by themselves. They want to control us. That is the bottom line. And they're doing a pretty good job up until recently. So many of us are awake and see what's happening at this point. So many of us know it comes down to the Epstein files. It all leads back to the Epstein files. It all leads back to their secret societies. It all leads back to their frickin' private islands. It all leads back to their private jets. It all leads back to their shell companies. I want everybody to be able to live their life for themselves. Money is not a necessity in this material world. It is only a necessity of Satan. It's how he starts his control. And it doesn't matter if you believe this, because they believe it. They act on it, and they do the rituals that show that they believe it is true.